Welcome to valwyattmarine. Today I want to show you around this Corsiva 690 tender. This is quite an exciting opportunity to show you around this one because the boat is spec'd with what they call sunset cushions. That's sort of burnt orange look, and with the black hull and the black decks that this boat's specified with, we find that's one of the most popular choices for this particular model of boat, and a lot of the Corsivas actually. So quick look at the outside. So we've got the spray hood drop down on the boat, and I'm going to drop in photos to show how it looks with the spray hood up out on the water. It's a really good looking boat. We're going to get on board. Before I do that, I just wanted to give you that overall view. Table is in place. There is also a set of infill cushions that cover this area, so the table drops down to form part of the support of that, and then there are cushions that fill in so that you get the whole of this forward area creating a sunbed. Over on the far side there, you can see this boat's spec'd with a fridge. Coming round to the rear, it's very clever, although it looks as if it's an inboard boat. That big cushion on the rear there forms a sunbed, but also covers your engine hatch where your outboard is hidden and tucked away there. So it looks really good when it's out on the water, and you do get a degree of insulation of noise by having that on there. And having just been out and driven the boat taking photos, you barely know it's an outboard boat. It's very smooth, there's not a lot of vibration through the hull, and it's very, very quiet. So let's jump on board. So I talked about what a well-spec'd boat it was. We talked about the colour on the outside, and we briefly touched on the fridge. I wanted to show you the helm because there's quite a few extras spec'd up on that as well. Rev counter, non-standard. This boat's been spec'd with hour meter similarly, voltmeter similarly, and a really nice one, the Marine speed and depth. So that will give you your water depth and your current cruising speed. The standard Corsiva buttons are these running along the bottom there. So you've got bilge pump, manual and auto, anchor light, all your nav lights, your cockpit lights, which I'm going to show you in a minute, and there's a spare button there which is for water system, which this boat doesn't have spec'd on it. Just quickly, the cockpit lights, I'll just show you those. That gives you LED downlighters around the cockpit, which is quite a nice touch. If you're out using the boat in the evening, you can see those up at the side there. So before I move on, I just wanted to mention a couple of things that I'd neglected to mention earlier. We were talking about spec. It's all important for everybody to be able to charge devices these days and have things going. So on the helm, you've got a standard 12 volt output there. And then coming round onto the port side, the boat's fitted with a dual USB, which is quite useful at 2 different wattages. Amperages. I don't know how well it'll come across in the video, but the engine is actually running on this boat at the moment, so I mean you won't really hear anything. It's just ticking over nicely at idle. I will actually just pop it into neutral and give it some revs, and hopefully you can hear just how nice and quiet that is. So that's the engine running at about 2,500 RPM, which will probably be your river speed, and apart from a very slight vibration from the seat, which I haven't got clipped down, it's really, really quiet. So you get tons and tons of storage in a 690. I'll start up at the bow where you've got your anchor locker, which is really easy access. If you did have the canopies up, you can zip up the forward part of the spray hood, just put your head through to reach the anchor and chuck that over the side. I've taken some cushions off so you can see what the storage is like elsewhere. In that forward area, you've got a big deep locker which has a small lid there. I have heard of somebody managed to find a porta potty, a chemical toilet that fits in there nicely. This particular boat has got what we call a dry bag toilet, which, as the name suggests, and it's never been used by the looks of it, is a dry bag for emergencies, but otherwise that locker's enormous, and on this boat looks like it's barely ever been used, if ever. Both sides, under the side cushions, you have these lockers here. There's a boat hook and some extra storage in there. There's also that floor hatch lifts up, and that's enormous. And it actually goes back further. We've got another video on our YouTube channel which shows just how big that is on these, but it's a really big deep locker. And then under that cushion as well, that lifts up. I'm just going to show you that briefly in a moment. Stand by. So I've just lifted that up in there. You've got your battery master switch over on that side. Your battery is obvious, and there's your removable fuel tank, which is piped through to the outboard, which is in that rear section, and I'm going to show you that now. So just lifted that sunbed cushion off and popped that engine hatch up there. There's the engine all tucked away. It's great from a security point of view, as well as aesthetically. It makes the boat look great, and all the messy components are tucked away. So to finish the video off, I've drop the table, which forms part of the support system, as I said. So the table is now actually under there, and the pole neatly tucks away underneath it. And then I put the infill cushions in, and you can see what a great space that is. So that gives you a couple of options. It's either a massive sunbed for days out, or if you want to go and camp on the boat, that obviously makes a great double bed. You'd have the spray hood up. You would be a bit limited in head height at the rear where the tonneau's on, but you've got the fridge, and that can make a great kind of fun weekend away setup. That's the end of the walk round of this Corsiva 690. I just wanted to end off with a short video clip of the boat out on the water because it looks so good. As always, we'll put the link to the boat in the description below so that you can click through to our website. If you've got any questions, please do not hesitate to contact us either via telephone or email. Thank you for watching.